Hi friends, you're watching Gio and Dan.
Someday you'll know. Already know what I'm going to say. I've been feeling this way for far too long.
Thank you all for being here today. Here on Gio and Dan, we do all things home decor. We organize, we decorate, we make home decor with a laser engraver, laser cutter. We also do craft kits that you can buy and finish yourself, and we love when you guys send us pictures of your finished products. If you buy one of our craft kits, please email us at gioanddan1@gmail.com so that we can feature those on our Instagram page. You guys, today's video is on our fall launch. So we put out a certain amount of home decor products every month, and this is our first official launch with our YouTube channel. But I decided that I was going to try and make some shorter videos instead of the really long videos, just so that it doesn't take too much time out of your day when you do watch our videos. So the fall launch is going to be split into two parts. The second part will be out this week, but everything from the fall launch will be on our website. I will link it down in the description box down below. So if you guys want to go check out those products that we make in this video, you can do so. Let's get into what we're making. So for part one of our fall launch, here are the things we are going to do in this video. We made this cute coffin, and it's 3-layered. So it's got a frame, it's got a middle piece that has the bats, and then it's got a base portion. So I think it turned out really, really cute. I think it's perfect for anywhere in your house for Halloween. Some of the other things we made in this video were these pumpkins, and we call them our boho pumpkins. I have some right here behind me. These were the first ones we ever made, and we made them years ago, but never got them up on our website. And I just think they're adorable. I love it with the paper. I love it without the paper. I love it with the bows. I love it without the bows. They're just really, really pretty and are 2-layered, but they also will be available on the website, and you guys can finish it however you like with the craft kits. But I just thought they were very, very adorable. But these ones, we put paper behind instead of leaving it plain, and then I put a ribbon on it, and I just think that that made them even more pretty. And this was more of going for a Halloweeny vibe versus a fall vibe, so I just love how they turned out. And we also have these in a smaller size, so we will have that in part 2's video with the tutorial on how we finished those. But you can buy them in the big size, you can buy them in the little size. We also made these garlands, and if you know me, you know that I'm obsessed with garlands. So we made these ghost garlands that have macrame thread on the bottom, so we were able to pull apart the string, and it's all frayed and fluffy, and it makes it look like they've got dresses on. But I antiqued them, and I stained the wooden beads. I just think it turned out really, really beautiful. And then the last thing we did on this video was another garland, and this may be my favorite garland we've ever done. I just love how it turned out. This is the spider web garland that we made, and we used the same macrame thread on it. I used a white thread to string the whole garland because I thought it brought out the white in the macrame string, and then I stained the wood beads black so they matched it as well. But I just think it turned out stunning. I just love it. I hope you guys enjoy these tutorials. Let's get into it.
In this video, we are doing our fall launch. If you didn't know, we have a home decor business where we make home decor pieces or craft kits for you to be able to finish these yourself. So if you are interested in any of them, please go to our website. It will be linked in the bio. Right now we're making a ghost and a spider web garland, and I was so excited about it. We cut out these wood shapes and are spray painting them with black and white spray paint. I love using spray paint because it's quick and easy, especially on these little projects where it would be a little bit more tedious to paint. Here we are staining the beads that we're going to put on the garlands. I debated spray painting them, but I kind of liked the look of the stains For the ghost garland, we used a dark walnut stain, which is a brown. I'm just putting the stain on and then using a rag to wipe off any excess stain. Now we are cutting out some macrame string so that we can make fringe on the spider webs and on the ghosts. So I spent a long time just cutting strips of the string and making piles. I believe it was a little over 100 strips that I needed for the 5 spider webs, but the craft kits do come with the macrame string. Now I'm going to start putting the string into the spider webs. You need to fold it in half and have a loop, and then have the strings come out of the loop on the bottom. And I did 7 strings in each little section, and I only did the bottom section and the 2 next to it, so 3 sections of the spider webs instead of 5. Once you've let the Mod Podge dry, I gave it a couple hours. Then you take a sander and sand on the edges of the paper. Make sure not to sand on the top of the paper or you'll get the color all out of it. But if you sand in a downward motion, it will cut off the excess paper and it will line up perfectly with the wood. Now you want to just take each strand and pull it apart so that the strings are fluffy. In the beginning, I used my hands to unwrap it, but it was a lot longer of a process. So as you can see in a minute, I ended up taking one of my big needles, which our kits come with the needle as well, and using the needle to be able to comb through the thread, and it also made it fluffier that way. Now I'm just taking my scissors and cutting along the base just to make sure that all of the strings are around the same length. So the ghost garland, I did the same thing, measured out the string and cut a whole bunch of string to put at the bottom of the ghost so it looks like they're wearing a skirt, which I think is adorable. And then we're doing the same thing, folding the string in half, putting the 2 strands through it, and then through the loop of the string. Then take your needle and do the same thing where you run the needle through the string to get the threads apart from each other and make the skirt fluffy on the ghost. Trim up the bottom of the skirt to your liking, whatever length you like, making it all even. The ghost, I decided I wanted a little bit of an antique look, so I took a sander and just sanded down the edges and a little bit on the front of the ghost just to give it that cute little farmhouse look. Now I'm taking my twine and putting it through the needle, and I'm doing 3 wood beads at a time and then a ghost after that. I did end up tying a loop at the end of the garland so that the balls didn't end up coming off that end, and then I started stringing the ghosts on. I tied a loop at the end of the garland to be able to hang and cut off the excess string. The spiderweb garland, I wanted to use a white string that would match the white macrame thread that we had on the actual spider webs. Macrame string was too thick to be able to get through the beads, so I ended up finding a crochet thread that I use frequently on my garlands and put it on that, and I love the contrast. With this thread where it's a thinner thread, when I tied my loop at the ends, I ended up doing about 3 or 4 knots on top of each other, just so nothing could come off that end. For this adorable sign, I spray painted with a black matte spray paint. I love the matte spray paint. It is so easy to work with. Things don't get stuck to it. It's just beautiful. I decided that I wanted kind of a rustic look, farmhouse look, so I stained the top piece that is going to be the border for the sign. And then you wipe off that excess stain, and the stain that we used was dark walnut with this one. I'm now using super glue to glue the pieces all together. Be really careful with the super glue that you don't do a ton so it doesn't leak out onto your sign. If you're worried about that, use wood glue instead because it dries clear. But I glued the one piece down. And then I glued the two little bats onto the sign as well. Lastly, I glued that top frame onto the sign, and I think it turned out super, super cute and would be a perfect addition to any Halloween decor.
That's the night away, no matter what they say. That's the night away.
For these boho pumpkins, I also used the matte black spray paint.
That's the night away, no matter what they say.
I decided with this project that I wanted to have the edges kind of antiqued a little bit where the wood was showing through. I just love that look, and I think it turned out beautiful in the end. But I just took my sander and went on every edge that I could. Now we're taking our scrapbook paper and tracing along so that we can cut out the paper. You want to make sure that it's not smaller than the size of the pumpkin. I always do it a teeny bit bigger because you're going to get that excess paper off anyways, and it's better to be able to cut some off than it is to have it be too short. With the bigger pumpkin, the one sheet of paper wasn't long enough, so I lined up the dots and cut the bottom piece out as well. Now I'm taking Mod Podge and I just slather it onto the pumpkin because it's a bigger pumpkin. You don't want a ton of Mod Podge on it. You want a very thin layer. If you do too much, your paper will bubble up. So I just did it to where it was just a very, very thin layer, and then put the paper on top of it. And then I used a vinyl tool, but you could use a spackle tool. There's all kinds of things that you could use to flatten it, but that just seems to work better for me to get all the bubbles out. And then I also hold my hands on the edges to give it a little bit more pressure. Once you've let the Mod Podge dry, I gave it a couple hours. Then you take a sander and sand on the edges of the paper. Make sure not to sand on the top of the paper or you'll get the color all out of it. But if you sand in a downward motion, it will cut off the excess paper and it will line up perfectly with the wood. Then I use super glue to glue the outline down onto the paper on the pumpkin. I decided later that I wanted to put some kind of ribbon on it, so I got this lacy ribbon and I took some super glue and glued it onto the back so that there was no way later that it would slip off. And then I tied 2 knots in it and then took the scissors and folded the ribbon in half and did a downward angle so it kind of gave the cute little ends on it.
Thank you all for watching that video. I hope you loved it as much as I did. I love doing tutorials. I love crafting. It gives me so much peace and happiness. So I hope you guys felt that. Please subscribe to my channel. It is really a free way that you can help me out. Like this video and then comment down below. Tell me what you guys want me to make. What would you like me to do? Do you want more organization videos? Do you want more decorating videos? Let me know what you guys want to see down in the description box down below. And if you're waiting for the second part of our Harry Potter series, that video is coming out soon as well. We're just finishing up a few things on that. But I hope you guys loved this video, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye!
Someday